Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Maya here, and on my channel we talk about Sisterlocks, we talk about books, and we talk about motherhood. In today's video we will be discussing and doing something a little new. I said we talk about books, so this is going to be my first book review. We're going to be discussing The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. I hope I'm saying her middle name correctly. And I really wanted to discuss this because there is a new show that just came out on Hulu that is supposed to be based off of this book, so it made me read it, and I have a lot of feelings to share with y'all. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about this book, make sure you stay tuned. First off, I want to say, if you're new here, thanks so much for clicking my video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this when it comes to books, when it comes to Sisterlocks, and just overall life. I'm here for y'all. We here together, we vibing. I've been loving communicating with you all in the comments, and I'm really excited to go into another area of YouTube, which is like book reviews and book recommendations, book lists, all those things. So if there's something that you all think I should be reading, you let me know at the end of this video. I will just kind of give you a brief synopsis or my actual like rating on this book. I'm gonna go on a scale of 1 to 5. That's probably the easiest, and kind of let you know how I felt. So first of all, let's start with the synopsis of the book, because I feel like that is the best way to kind of describe a summary from the back of the book. And it says 26-year-old editorial assistant Nella Rogers is tired of being the only black employee at Wagner Books, which is a publishing company. Fed up with the isolation and microaggressions, she's thrilled when Harlem-born and bred Hazel starts working in the cubicle beside hers. They've only just started comparing natural hair regimens. Y'all know we can relate here. Though when a string of uncomfortable events elevates Hazel to office darling, and Nella is left in the dust. Then the notes begin to appear on Nella's desk. Leave Wagner now. It's hard to believe Hazel is behind these hostile messages, but as Nella starts to spiral and obsess over the sinister forces at play, she soon realizes, can't get it out, she soon realizes that there's a lot more at stake than just her career. Having joined Wagner Books to honor the legacy of Burning Heart, a novel written and edited by 2 black women, she had thought that this animosity was a relic of the past. Is Nella ready to take on the fight of a new generation? Okay, so that's the synopsis of the book. So we got the characters here. So as mentioned there, we have Nella. She's the main character, and basically Nella is, just as they said, she is the office assistant. She assists a big editor there at that company, and at Wagner Books, it's a publishing house. And then there's also Hazel, which is the other black girl that is hired later on. And basically some things happen that make it so that Nella is kind of like looked at a little crazy, like she might be doing too much. I'm gonna add a little spoilers in here, so spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything about the meat of the book, then make sure that you fast forward to the end so that you can hear my overall review rating for this book. But basically Nella has some thoughts on a character in one of the books that she's asked to read by her editor. The character is basically written in a bunch of black stereotypes. Nella is really torn on if she should say something. Hazel comes in and basically encourages her to say something, and then backstabs her in front of everybody else and says, I think the book was great. I think it was fun. So basically it makes Hazel just seem the favorite, and they keep asking Hazel to do all these things even though Nella's been there forever and worked hard and done all those things. And honestly, it's a lot of gaslighting in this book, because they try to make it like her work just didn't exist and Hazel was just the best thing ever. And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, I didn't really care for that part. But going into this book, So that's one of the things that happens. And then Nella still, once as was mentioned in the synopsis, when Nella starts to get these notes telling her to leave Wagner, she automatically thinks that they're Hazel just because of Hazel's aggressions toward her. And so she tries to learn more about Hazel, but then it's like uncovered that there's like a secret society that's watching black girls that behave like Hazel. Y'all, it was mad confusing to me, okay? I'm really hoping that when I watch the show, whoever this is, or whoever is the show's editor or co-writer for this, provides some clarity, because Zakiya, girl, we was confused, at least for me. And I also, before I even finished the book, because I was so confused, I started looking at reviews that didn't have spoilers in them, because I was like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. No, everyone else was confused when there's this secret society that comes in that's been watching Nella, and they're the ones that's sending her these notes because Hazel is part of this huge organization of black girls through Wagner, the publishing company. Basically, these black girls are inserted into different fields. I don't know if it's just in literature or different publishing houses. It's not specified. Another one of my qualms here, that they're put in here to be like the black girl that everybody likes, that just gets along with everybody, that just, she's black, she's empowered, but she kind of just agrees and goes with the flow, and she just is so, she really doesn't feel bad about agreeing to certain things or not disagreeing, and doesn't take offense to certain things. She just kind of lets things roll off her back. Though if you are a person of color, you already know how certain things can be when people say things or don't understand or want to understand our backgrounds. And so I don't even know. And so as I was reading this, I'm like, it was so many times where I called my friend and I was like, what? I don't know what's going on. I've been reading this book for days and I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I didn't know what was going on. And the ending I was not satisfied with. I read it and I swiped to the next page because I just figured it would be the next page. There was more, and there wasn't, and I threw my Kindle. I have to check her. Is she damaged? I don't think she damaged. These things can take a beating, so she wasn't, but I just chucked it because I was like, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. I'm not gonna give the ending away to y'all, but it was less than satisfactory. Okay, I did not like it. I feel like there was so much extra detail put into the backstories of what was going on in Nella's life without actually explaining Hazel being implemented into her life. What was Hazel's purpose coming to Wagner? I get it. She was to replace Nella because Nella was problematic, as they would say, and she was speaking up and here for diversity and like trumpeting that. And I'm like, okay, I get, but Hazel still comes in and she's also pro-black. She's from Harlem. She has a youth group. Like, she's still doing a lot of things. I don't understand why she has to be replacing Nella. Like, what's the problem? Is it just because she goes with the flow? Like, I feel like Nella also was a character that really didn't know what she wanted, and so she went with the flow. She was just trying to make a name for herself, and so she ended up conforming without even realizing it. And y'all, the hair grease thing, I'm gonna give you an A for the concept, okay? I'm gonna give you an A for the concept. But basically, Hazel has this grease that makes her like chilled out, I guess. It's not explained, y'all. It's not explained. So that's my general synopsis, okay? I'm gonna go through because I wrote down some questions, as I was reading. If you've read this book, please let me know. Do y'all have some of these answers for me? Because I just want to know what was happening. I was confused with what happened with Kendra, which was Kendra Ray Phillips was the only black editor that had ever been there at Wagner, which is the reason why Nella had chosen that publishing company to go to, because Kendall Ray and Diana had wrote and edited this book called Burning Heart together, and it was her favorite book. That's why she wanted to work there. Kendra pops up in the book a few times, but it's not explained her true purpose. What was she doing? Like when she ran away, it never really, we don't get no background on her, and that irritates me. Then I mentioned before, why did Nella even have to leave Wagner? Like, why couldn't it just be two black girls there? Hazel had to be the one to take over. Like, I ain't like that. It didn't. Was this experiment where these black girls were getting this hair grease to chill them out and make them, you know, is this just in the literature field? I mentioned it kind of before, because we do find out that there are other black girls that have been exposed to this chemical to chill them out and are in roles of authority and were able to level up because of this. But it didn't say if they're specifically just in literature or where these black women are. How does this work? Is there like a network that people get in touch with the head of the book? Y'all, what? Like, it just I just was so confused. I mean, then there's another, like, what about Jesse, the pro-black guy that Nella really wanted to work with and wanted to be the author, the editor to his book, and all of a sudden he ain't pro-black no more. He want to write a book that's random. Like, did he get some of the grease too? Where's this coming from? Like, it just, y'all, I was so confused. Like, and then Kendra pops up again, and she was working with Lynn, but then she's not with Lynn. Like, y'all, I'm so confused. Okay, it's so many questions here, and it just left me with an unsatisfactory ending. So I started watching the show because I was just really hoping that it would give me more clarity than what I'm getting from this book. I hear, as I'm looking on YouTube, that the show is better than the book. So I will make a post once I finish the show to let y'all know how I feel about it. But if you want to know how I rated this book, I will give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm giving it a 3.5 because I really did like the originality behind the hair grease thing. I get where they was trying to go with it being kind of like a little sunken place thing going on, like there's an alternative motive and that kind of thing going, and that's why there's this competitive nature and stuff. But there was so many extra details that were in the book that didn't need to be in a book, that took away from the details that we really did need, and it just wasn't doing it for me. I couldn't get down with it. I couldn't. I really tried my best, y'all. I really did. Yeah, so that's that. So basically, I'm gonna watch the video, watch the show. I'm gonna let you guys know how that goes, and I hope this book review wasn't that confusing. I hope you all were able to kind of follow along with me. If it seems all over the place, that's because this book was. Okay, I don't even know what to tell you. The next book I'm going to be reading is called People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, I believe. And that's what we're going to read now. I got that from Target because it was on my to read list, and so we're going to move on to that. All right, we're going to take a break. But thank you guys so much for watching this video for me. I hope you all like this kind of content. Comment below and let me know some other book recommendations, if there's anything else that I should be looking at, or something else that you want to see. If you want to further discuss the book, do it in the comments, please let me know. And if you haven't again already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with some friends, your fellow book lovers, so that we can build our community. And I will see you guys in the next review.